Hello and welcome to another Tuesday night. This is the Station Hotel Talking Parra live show. Thanks to our sponsors, Beef Jerky. Oh, wow, that was terrible. Let's start again. Beach Jerky, Eurowork, Bay Vista, Spot On Hose and Fittings, JD's Buyers Agents, Xvisory, Parra Leagues, Archibald Racing, Time for a Chat, Crown Property Finance, Riverside Brewing Co., Nonstop Landscapes, ZMS Trophies, and of course, the Station Hotel. You think the amount of times I've said them, I'd be able to get them right and I'd be able to do it without reading them, but I somehow find a way to screw it every time. Obviously, a wonderful day out there on Sunday afternoon. It was great to be back home at Parramatta Combank Stadium, Paradise, as you want to call it, after two, I guess, one rough away trip and another what started as a rough trip and ended up pretty good, but it was great to be back home. I'll bring the boys in. Look, we're a bit short tonight, short on troops. We've lost Longy for tonight. I don't know where he is. He's out. Jason's busy. Michael's, I think, at work. Jake's, who knows where. So we're down to 5. Then there were 5. Brought Huss back in. Gave Huss another run after his performance last week. So, mate, welcome back. How you doing?
Cheers, boys.
He's loving being back. He's loving being back.
Love the camera.
Troy, mate. Troy, what's doing?
Oh, not too much, mate. Glad to be here. Glad to make the cut. And, look, it was great to be chauffeur driven on Sunday to the game. Really a great experience, that one.
I was just in shock. I actually thought you would have got a limousine organised for you. So, and when I found out you didn't, I popped out all the way to Penrith, straight from Nelson Bay out to Penrith, and gave you a ride. Put you in the back, just to treat you like, give your own bit of space, provided you with a drink and some food and all that kind of stuff. Really looked after you, didn't I?
You did. And when we arrived at the ground, you opened the door for me and let me out, and which was nice.
That's what we've got to do, mate. You're a recognised creator. We've got to do that stuff for you. Jack, mate, you missed last week. I don't know how you missed last week after that Brisbane game. Did you go on like a fucking 5-day bender or something or what?
Yeah, mate. I just decided to take some time, recover from what was an excellent Thursday night in Brisbane. Only stopped Saturday night, got back on a Sunday, another win. Might as well just keep doing it till we lose, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so drink responsibly, guys, of course, as we say. Hayden, no voice, Housey. How you doing there, Entertain House?
Been better. I mean, it was a great day on Sunday, but I've had this husky voice for about 48 hours. Everyone thinks I'm sick, but it was just from all the yelling we were doing that march for sure.
I like it, actually. I reckon
it's so sexy.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually you sound like a little bitch, and tonight you just you got a bit of aura about you. So I'm all for it. It's absolutely fantastic.
It was all those tui calls, wasn't it, Hayden?
Tui calls. Yeah, it's got to catch on, mate. We'll get to Tui later. That was a fantastic performance. Look, let's start, obviously, first. You're already copping a ass in the comments.
I can see.
People want to know, did the date happen?
Oh, no, it didn't happen.
Has there been any conversation, or is the situation still too complicated?
It's still a bit too complicated. There's just no comment on that one.
Yeah.
The season's long.
Yeah. He's only in round 3s, playing it out, and we'll see what happens in that situation. I'll tell you now, she went and picked up the voucher on Sunday before the game, so she got the voucher ready to go for you. So, Adam, at least buy you a drink first, Troy. Yeah, I always buy Troy drinks, mate. I can't remember a time where Troy's ever bought himself a drink. So, look,
speaking of that, I'd just like to shout out to Isaac as well. He bought me a beer at the Leagues Club as well.
What have I told people about encouraging you? Anyway, we'll get to that later. Don't encourage him, guys. He's on a 12-step program and he hasn't made it past step 1 yet. So, all right, let's this has been a wild start. I've got to get back to it. So, look, we're giving away a $50 Bay Vista voucher tonight. So, share this podcast. We'll give away a $50 Bay Vista voucher as well. Once you've done it, obviously comment, shared, and Jez will star them, and we'll draw a winner later. Must be here to win that. You got 30 seconds to claim it, of course, when we do that. Let's get to the game, eh? I've got a lot to talk about, a lot to get through. These Sunday games have been absolutely killing me. What was the first Sunday game? The Sunday game has absolutely killed me. Just trying to get the content out. So sorry if your Facebook feed has been full of stuff over and over again. But before we get to the game, I will mention, first of all, we still do have a raffle tickets available. We've got about, 7th of April that's drawn, so just over 2 weeks to get your tickets in. Some great prizes there to win. Legends Lounge tickets, the Parramatta Eels versus Canterbury Bulldogs game. That's going to be a massive one. A 2026 signed jersey. And then third prize, $200 Eels store voucher, $100 Baby voucher, and a Talking Parra hat is the booby prize there. So But hey, you got to be in it to win it. So get across, buy some tickets. They start from $5 and plenty of options there. Let's get to the game, 30-20, great result. Aiden's score actually wasn't too far off. I think he went the closest probably, just because he sat on the fence because he's scared of his misses. But Aiden, mate, your quick thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it was an unreal game. I mean, it got a little bit scary there. I had the score at 26-24, so wasn't too worried, but I thought it was starting to swing in the Dragons' way. I think our defence needs to be a little bit better, leaking a lot of points to start the year across these 3 games. So I really want to see more defence against Penrith, but really enjoy getting to do the player ratings, which I'm sure we'll see later, and trying to point out who was good and who wasn't so good on the night. But there was some great moments and a lot of razzle-dazzle about Parramatta, which is both good and bad this year. They're throwing around the footy, taking risks, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. In this case, went our way.
Yeah, for sure. We'll touch on the points thing. We'll get that when we get to the defence later. But I think the fact that we scored 1 try off a kick when we were obviously down to 12 men was pretty cool. They absolutely screwed up some opportunities, that's for sure. I think when they had a 5-on-2 and they went to one of their front rowers who just tucked the ball and ran, I was like, oh, God, that was lucky. That was absolutely brilliant, but that was lucky. Yeah, it was him. Yeah. I was just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, it wasn't my highlight of the match. I'll get to that later. It was obviously by another forward, but the fact they scored off that kick, and I thought actually Ioni's positioning was a lot better this week. I spent a lot of time watching Isaiah at the back, and he seemed to be putting a lot more urgency to get across to shut down those backline moves and those kicks, which was really good to see. Obviously, that one, bit of a harder situation when he called out down a number, and I think one of the other tries they scored was off a blatant forward pass as well. So realistically, they scored 3 tries, 1 against 12 men and 1 off a forward pass. So I think our defence was a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it was St. George. Your thoughts on the game, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, the first half hour were pretty shoddy. They were just mauling us in the ruck. Bin was a blessing, got some razzle-dazzle, as Haydos was saying. Second half, we thought we started really well, rolling through them. And then, that 10-minute period, watching Gutho ignore a 5-on-2 to dummy and go himself made me very glad he was wearing red and white, not blue and gold. Every day, we're more and more confident we made the right decision. But look, got the win. I'm friends with a few Dragons boys. I've got to tell them to get fucked respectfully, of course. So, no complaints on my side.
Cheers. Good. Love it. Welcome back, Jack. Oscar, your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, it was good resilience by the boys. Fuck, they showed a lot of heart at the end of that game. Fuck, they came through at the end. So, like, it was a bit scary at the first half. I was saying with the boys, like, bro, not this shit again. Can't keep playing catch-up footy again, especially if you're going up against Penrith. But you know what? That second half showed, what Parra's.
He's cutting. You've been in and out like a yo-yo then, bro. 1 minute you're with us, and next minute you weren't with us. So
I was like, cutting?
Yeah, you were cutting. Yeah, you were cutting big time.
Maybe go to the other room in the mansion.
Yeah, you've been moving around your mansion all day. Anyway, we'll give you a chance to fix that. Troy, mate, your thought?
Yeah, look, it was a pretty lucky start, I guess, getting that penalty try. But after that, it was a bit scary with the Dragons scoring those pretty sort of, I guess, easy tries. But it was good that the boys showed resilience and come back. And I thought at one stage there, Mitchell stood up and tried to take control of the game. And his kicking game at the end of the game was pretty vital. I mean, 750 metres, which is nothing to slouch at. Just really held the Dragons down their end. And look, that last 10 minutes was probably a bit nerve-wracking. I thought the Dragons were going to get it 26-24, but it was good to hold them out whilst Gymel was out in the sin bin as well. So, look, a pleasing win to get the 2 points, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf would say.
I love a good Meatloaf quote, that's for sure. Let's get to the player of the match. And it was actually a really rare occasion where Talking Parra and the fans voted for the same player. We copped a pizzle when we went Peasant last week, and we copped a pizzle for everything last week. I'm starting to realise the more followers you have, the more haters you have, and I love it. I embrace the hate. It's what keeps me up at night and it gets me up in the morning is what I mean. I'm solid with the hate. So, look, Talon Silva took out the Talking Parra man in the match, and the fan voted player of the match was also Talon Silva. So pretty funny how a lot of people were calling for Talon to not be part of the Parramatta Eels 17 only 2 weeks ago. And in 22 minutes, he has changed everyone's mind on that. I think he's been pretty solid all year. He's done quite well. And, for him to turn around and have that breakout game now, it's perfect. Like I said, I love what Riley can do. I see Riley always our starting 9, but I want to see that balance. I want to see Talon come on towards the back end of that first half, probably that 15 minutes earlier, and then play the start of that second half, then bring Riley back on. If the game's there we need a spark and a winner, I'm keeping Riley and I'm keeping Talon on. Playing Riley is, a small forward, like 13 role there. So plenty of options to do that. Just with that knocked, obviously, to Riley in the first half, Talon got his chance to come through, and he absolutely killed it. So it was fantastic to see. Who was your man of the match, Troy?
Yeah, look, he couldn't go past Talon, his best Eels performance, but Eric Jones mentioned it there. Tui, he had a massive game.
Can you play his proper name, please?
Yeah. So, what was that? I wasn't listening then, but anyway.
Wow.
Sorry. Anyway.
You're such a professional content creator, aren't you, Troy? I love it.
I am. Sorry. Tui had a blinder. He stayed on the field longer than what I thought he did, but he made some massive hits and just off those back of the fence runs as well. So he was magnificent. So very close to player of the match for me as well. But Talon got it.
I might as well jump ahead of this because it is our JD Buyers Agent Super Coach player on the rise over there with League of Inches as well. So he only scored 54 points, but 44 minutes, 18 runs, 175 run meters, 26 tackles, and 79 post-contact meters. Man, that's a fucking awesome stint. So to see that, I think his minutes will be up. You'd have to think his minutes will be up, obviously, with Hopwood out as well. And like I said at the start of the year, I see a transition period happening here where throughout the year, Sam Tuivasa slowly becomes our starting front row, and Junior Paulo will always be named in that 10, but we'll start to see him switch to the bench towards the end of the year. Until he will start for him. I think that's the way I'll go for as long as Junior's at Parramatta for the future days there. So, Jack, your player of the match?
I had Talon as well. I thought the spark he brought on when he came on was electric. I've been saying from the start of the year that I thought he'd have a big year. But also Simo was a bit under the radar. I didn't really realize how much work he did until I went back and looked at the stats. Pushing 20-plus runs, 250-odd meters. He's picking up the slack that Lomax left that we thought we might struggle with. But Talon for sure. But quick shout out to Simo. I thought he was big as well.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much exactly what I was going to say for my man of the match, but I'll just do it now as well. But yeah, good point there, Jack. Bailey Simonson, 24 runs, 244 run meters. I noticed it live because I'm obviously better at watching football than you live, and I worked it out. But the reason I gave him my man of the match was, mate, he picked up a knock the same time as Jordan Samrani. He was hobbling around on that ankle like, he should have been off the field as well. But obviously we had no substitutes left. We already had a second rower or a front row, whatever you want to call Charlie Guyman these days, playing in the centres. There was no way we possibly could have switched that. I honestly believe they would have brought Joe Ash onto the wing and they would have moved Bailey in the centres if Bailey wasn't injured as well. But it's just how he kept getting through and kept turning up. He kept turning up in defence. He kept taking those tough carries. As you said, he turned around and he took those tough carries that Zach Lomax was taking. And look, Fox probably still isn't 100% with match fitness yet. Like, it's pretty obvious to everyone watching that. He's still carrying that hand a little bit, but he's out there doing his job. All he needs to do is do his job. Fox's best job is this. And he helps us massively defensively on that edge there as well. And his talk when we're down or things aren't going away is perfect as well. But yeah, I thought Bailey Thomas was my man of the match. Hayden, who'd you have, mate?
Yeah, I did have Talon De Silva for mine, but Bailey Simonson was very close second behind. Jack, you took the words out of my mouth. There wasn't really a winger that would step up for Lomax. We were thinking towards the start of the year that could take those hard carries, and that's exactly what Bailey's been doing, not just this game, but I think he's doing it consistently to start the year. So Talon De Silva for mine, unreal stint. I think he provides a better running game than Riley. I still think Riley is fantastic defensively and agree with Adam that he should be our starting hooker. But if you're looking for that game change spark, we've now seen that Talon's got him in it.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to look at it, Hayden, and that's why I like it. They're completely different players. And Riley, I think, has adapted his running game a fair bit this year. Like against Brisbane was the best running game he'd had. I'd seen him play in first grade. But I think I was flexing hard, hey, Shannon. I was flexing as hard as I could. No, that drum was actually really heavy. I didn't have to flex. But Riley Talon comes on in, obviously, when they're a bit weaker and a bit slower through the middle, and Talon can run to and actually kill them. That's the luxury he has. Like, Riley's making 50 tackles a game as well every week. He's getting up to those highest numbers, usually our top tackler. So, obviously, trying to run him and target him. And I guess Talon comes on and has that advantage when they're a bit weaker and, they've spent most of their time targeting Riley. They're a bit out of oomph himself. He can run through, and we could say maybe if they reverse their roles, it mightn't work. I don't know, maybe Riley would be able to run to them if their forwards were a lot more tired later in the game, but it's something we probably won't know unless they try that. Huss, your thoughts, mate, on your man of the match?
I'm going with the second coming of Payne Haas, big boy to a body. I love his performance.
Big
that yeah. When I was watching Payne Haas when he was around that age, I feel like that's how he started with the Broncos. He wasn't getting big minutes. It was like 20, 25 minutes. And I was saying this is the next big thing. And then look at him now, 80 minutes in and out, always every week, number one player on the field. You know what? It's just Tui Vardy has the potential to do it. You just got to believe it. And he can be that guy for us.
Fair shout. Yeah. I really rate him, and I rate a lot of the young forwards coming through as well. That's why every time I rumored to sign one of these older forwards or these 1.2, $1.3 million forwards, I'm not for it because I think Tui's got it. I think Ryder's going to have it. Tencum Brown, we don't know what he's capable of as well. Like, he's had a rough couple of years with injuries, and it's going to be a breakout for him if he gets here.
You're more hungry when you're younger. I know as for like experience, but when you're younger, you're more hungry. When you're old, it's like, I don't know if you're doing it for the paycheck, but you're experienced. So you don't feel like you have to push that extra mile. Like you can see with Zach DeBellin, Anthony Watmale back in the day. But if you blood in someone that's young, they're gonna do the job and they're gonna want to prove something. So I feel like that we should keep giving our young boys debuts, especially the forwards. Like look at Dury, you know what I mean? It's the resurgence. I'm happy with the roles with that call.
I'm actually really keen to see how Luca goes as well, given the fact that Luca's played, 3 weeks out of NRL. He'll be hungry as well because he had a pretty good year last year as well. So that'll be pretty interesting how he goes. And I'll tell you one thing, Huss, you're on the point because getting old fucking sucks. Troy knows all about this. And every run you take when you're older is about 10 runs when you're younger.
It gets harder and harder.
And Troy can't play footy either, but Troy just means him walking out the door is harder. But anyway, let's move on. Let's go to our defender of the week. Look, it's always about the player that makes the most tackles because that's usually the Riley. Obviously, Jermaine's usually up there when he's playing as well, or Jack Williams. But I thought Mitchell Moses did an excellent job, mate. That first half, he had Luciano Leilua, he had Sully, and the other winger who looks exactly the same, whose name I can't say.
Tui Piloto.
Two.
Yep.
The money man.
Tuapolotu. The ones are all the same, not the one on the other side. They're all on the same side. They ran everything they could at Mitchell Moses, that St. George Illawarra attack. Mitchell Moses stood strong. And I've seen a lot of people turning around saying, hey, Mitchell didn't do much with the ball. All he did was kick, all this kind of stuff. I want to make a quick comment about Mitchell Moses, and people know I'm not afraid to make comments about Mitchell Moses. Mitchell Moses is at that close to that 30 age now, right? He's adapted his game now that he doesn't have to do that flashy stuff at all. Like, yes, it's great when he does it, but reality is he's not going to be as effective with that flashy stuff anymore. Mitchell Moses is making his tackles. He's organising us. He's actually playing a lot smarter brand of football. His defensive means all, and he's kicking for 700 metres a week. That's what we need Mitchell Moses to do. So people turn around saying, Mitch played shit. He didn't take on the line. He had a couple of chances where he took the line on. And that's what Cody said, mate. His job was to make Clint Gutherson his bitch all day. And every time he did it, he got up laughing as well. So I love seeing that. As Alexander said, he went to the centres. He covered that centre positions really well. So Mitchell's biggest criticism back before he joined Parramatta was his defence. Everyone said he can't defend. He's one of the worst defenders in the comp, and he's worked really hard on that. So where it falls down at the moment for me, and constructively I'm going to say this, is I think with Mitchell Moses, we don't need a Jonah Peasant. I'm not saying Jonah Peasant played bad. I thought he played quite all right in attack. But when you look at an older halfback like your Daly Cherry Evans, look at your Cooper Cronk back in the day, even your Adam Reynolds and your Ben Hunts, if they're playing there, they're playing that structured footy and setting up stuff. They need to find a 5'8" with that flash, that zam, a 5'8" that can create that spark that Mitchell Moses used to have when he ran the ball. Because at the moment, he just isn't doing it. And I guess one of it's getting older, one of it's playing his role, but one of it's probably had a few injuries, doesn't want to get injuries again. You got any thoughts on that one, Jack?
No, I 100% agree. I was watching it especially with like Reynolds and Hunt, they sit there, they organise, and then boom, man comes through and breaks the game open. Kiri was doing it with Kronk. And you can see Pezzett in attack. He's an organiser. He'll push up, but he's not going to break the game on his own. He'll put someone in a hole or he'll dig to the corner. But that's why someone like, as we were saying at the start of this, someone like Joash, like you watch him play, he's a live wire. He can break the game open himself. You watch Lorenzo in junior grades and cup, he does that too. So like if we go through a bit of a stretch mid-year, we start losing, fingers crossed we don't, of course. I would not against it all telling Pezzett to fuck off back to cup for a bit and have a crack with one of these more live wire 5'8", so Mitch can only focus on organising and the team set up and have someone be that game breaker that we need.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying that Pezzett's playing bad. Anyone in the comments think I'm saying Pezzett's playing bad. He's playing quite good footy. I thought his first game against Melbourne was shithouse. Played really good against Brisbane, got our man of the match, and he did his job on the weekends. But I'm just thinking going forward, if we want to be a team that can seriously, compete at the back end of the year, we need that spark. And I don't know where we have that spark at the moment. Gus, your thoughts?
I was going to say about the Mitchell Moses, there was a clip, and I was watching live, where he got steamrolled from Moses Sully. But then when I look at it, not a lot of halfbacks with their body on the line. Like, there's pussies out there that will just let him go through. You know what? They put his body on the line. That shows he's got a lot of heart, even though he got steamrolled. But still, no one's going to face Moses Sully. And you can see in the other plays, no one jumped in and helped him out. First contact, Moses threw his body, tried to slow him down. But you know what? I like when you said, Mitchell Moses, at the end of the week, even in the centres, it was trying to shut down everything, rushing up on the line. You know what? That's exactly what, as a small, you call the small halfbacks or whatever they are, they're smaller guys, they're putting their bodies on the line, and that shows, he's got heart for the badge.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's, like I said, it really is. It's what I'm trying to say, and we're copping a bit in the comments, but it's Mitchell Moses. This mightn't be the Mitchell Moses people love. The Mitchell Moses they love is the one that was, taking those 80-meter runs and running short side and stuff. I think this is the Mitchell Moses we need. And whether it's this year or next year, when a young 5'8" comes through, because look, Pezzett's here obviously for one, whether it's Joash plays 5'8" or Lorenzo plays 5'8" next year, or who knows what could happen, who could play 5'8" next year. Whatever happens, the Mitchell Moses we're getting this year is going to help us in the long run because he's a much more mature and a much more settled player. Hayden, thoughts?
I thought Mitch had a brilliant game, not just in defence as well. I thought very smart decision-making. There were some moments where people will go, that probably wasn't the right decision. But as you said there, he doesn't always need to take the line on. We've seen that he has a great running game, but setting up that play or throwing that cutout pass, taking that risk. A big moment was watching all the players getting ready to line up and go behind him, go for two when the Dragons had a man in the bin. But Mitch was saying to the boys, no, let's tap this, let's go. The energy he brought to this game is why I ranked him so high.
Yeah, let's get to your rankings, actually, because when I saw you ranked Mitch that high, I was actually quite surprised. I'm not going to lie. When you ranked him 8, I thought there was better players on the field, but like I said, he did well defensively in his kick to the corners and stuff. Mate, just go through your top 2 and your bottom 2 and why you ranked him at those ratings.
So top 2, I had Talon De Silva, as I said, almost absolutely perfect performance. I would have liked to have seen him play a couple of more minutes. 22 is quite small, but for what he did in those 22 minutes was massive. And then I guess top 2, well, you've got a tie there between Bailey Simonson and Jack Williams and Sam Tuivasa. They're both on 8.5 there. But as I mentioned, Bailey earlier, very close second for man of the match for mine. Sam Tuivasa was great. But I thought Jack Williams was really, really good. I thought Jack Williams had a really good game on the weekend. As for the bottom 2, I've got, I think it was Jonah Pezzett there in 6 with a score of 6. I thought he was okay. As you said, not great against Melbourne. Massive game. My man of the match last week. I thought he was okay overall, but definitely could have done more for us on the weekend. Maybe could have led to more points as well. And who was my other lower 6 with Jordan Samrani? It's a hard one. Went down with an injury, didn't get too much play, but I didn't think he was amazing compared to a lot of other players on the field.
Yeah, he picked up that knock injury pretty quickly and tried to play through it as well. But good shout there, Hayden. Good thoughts from that one there. You've copped a pizzling as well, like I did, but that's fine. That's what we love. So
should give Jack Williams a shout out quickly, man. 50 tackles and 100 meters of running. That's not easy to do. No one does that in NRL.
It's just his effort as well.
Yeah.
He's another one that copped it off the fans the first 2 weeks. Obviously, he won our Ken Thornett, medal last year. The first 2 weeks, the fans going, "What's wrong with Jack? Like, he's not there, all this kind of stuff." And he's obviously moved from the second row back into the middle, a bit of lock as well. Mate, Jack Williams missed a lot of preseason with an injury and barely trained. So he's just getting his match fitness back up. When his match fitness is back up, and it probably isn't even what it could be yet, he's going to go back to that same player he was last year. Like head huss, 50 tackles. Missed 3 or 4 tackles, but to play big minutes, that's going to happen 100 meters. It's an outstanding effort.
He's better in the middle. He has to stay in the middle. He's no use, I reckon.
I think now he does. Last year I had him in the second row, but I think through the middle with how quick the games got this year.
Yeah, with his engine, he needs to stay in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that half.
Defense, bring him up out on the line. You can bring him up. That's what you need, exactly. A person like that in the middle. Fittest in the front, fittest forward. So.
Let's go through the top performers because you obviously mentioned some of them there. Obviously, Bailey topped the runs with 24 runs. The tries, 2 to Silver, 1 to Fox, 1 to Kit Kat, 1 to Pezzett. Unfortunately for me, Iongi did not get one, or I would have got a very handy multi. Run meters and Simonson, 244. Fox, 211. Shows how much our backs did there. And like I said, Sam Tuivasa, 175 meters. To be that young and to lead our forward pack like that in 44 minutes, outstanding effort. Williams and Smith both with 50 tackles. Twangy, 36. Good to see. I don't know what is going on with Kelma. I just want to touch on this. I haven't believed the rest, but he had the headgear on, and we're screaming at him in the crowd, "Get your headgear off!" And he took his headgear off. I don't get the headgear. Everyone's going, "Get your headgear off!" And mate, he went into beast mode again when his headgear come off. So he actually didn't play a bad game at all with the headgear on, but he took it off again. And as he's walking around the crowd, everyone's going, "I don't know if it's going to be his thing now. He's going to start the game with headgear and take it off like a little superstition thing." I don't really know what's going on, but fuck, it was funny to see once again. Pretty much just go through our 3-2-1s and we'll touch on the injuries. Michael did 3-2-1s this year. He did 3 to Silva. He did 2 to Walker and 1 to Iongi. That's the ZMS Trophies Player of the Year. Iongi leads that at the moment. 3 games in, mate. And I know Josh Adokar didn't play the first game, but Fox won it last year. Just beat Iongi and Jack Williams. But both Jack Williams, Fox, and Mitch haven't got a vote 3 games in. So that's very interesting. Last year it went off the fans. This year we're doing it ourselves. But see how we go there. Let's get to these injuries. We'll start with this one because obviously it's still not great, but it's a less serious one. It was feared to be an ACL as well. NRL physio put up as an ACL or meniscus. Meniscal tear, 6 to 8 weeks. Now, look, I've had a meniscal tear from rugby league. Obviously, I'm not an NRL player, and I didn't get the care that the NRL players are going to get and, the rehab and stuff. But, look, they'll go in, they'll do a clean out on his knee. I believe the same person that did my hip will do that. It's Parramatta Eels club doctor, Louis Chidiac. But they'll do that clean out, and if it's fixable just with a scrape away, he'll be out for that 6 to 8 weeks. Now, if they go in, it's a full meniscal repair, and he needs to get what they call a full meniscal repair. He'll end up in a brace coming out for that. It's a stitching of the meniscus, and that'll be 4 months. So, this could end up being a 16-week injury for Jordan Samrani. I hope it's not. I hope it's something they can fix with a scrape away. But I guess when they do that surgery, and they might have already done that surgery, I'm not sure. Usually they're pretty quick to get him in. It probably will happen sometime this week. They should know if he's going to require that full meniscal repair, which I probably would have done straight away. And yeah, it's either going to be a 6-week injury, 8-week injury, or probably a 4-month injury. So hoping for the best, but someone who's been through it and escaped with just a scrape out, let's just hope so. But thoughts on that injury, Troy, mate? Obviously, we've lost Will and we've lost Jordan Samrani. Obviously, Brian Kelly goes in the centres now. We're looking a bit short on centres, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm not going to pick number 3 as the first try scorer because it might put a curse on him, I think, maybe. But, look, it's disappointing for Jordan. He was playing some pretty good footy in his 2 games that he played, and obviously we saw his trial form that he had, and he was looking to have that spot whilst Will was out. So let's just hope that it's a quick recovery and he gets back on the playing field soon. But look, it's going to be a long road, but we wish him all the best in recovery.
So I'm laughing at that comment that Kelma's mum makes him wear the headgear before the game and then he takes it off. Mate, Haas, getting short on those centres, as we said. Who would you have in the centres moving forward?
Look, he was posted in my video, in my blog, and Araz, I've been throwing his name in and out, just keep throwing his name. He's one body, he's a big body. It looks like he can play second row, but that's one person we're going to need in the long run. He's our future. He's still young. And look, I understand we're versing Penrith this week. I understand Riles didn't want to make that, you know what I mean, big decision against Penrith. So he chose Kelly. But look, man, I hope Kelly does perform. You know, he had a bad first week, but look, he's an experienced player. He can be, look, he's done it for many years. So let's hope he can pull through for us this Saturday. But yeah, Araz, the next one up.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember the name.
He killed it. He killed it in the preseason as well, and he certainly caught my attention in the preseason. We'll get to the Jermaine Hopgood injury. The other two boys touch on that, but obviously Jermaine Hopgood. Look, this is a very disappointing one. Obviously, you know, Hopgood in 2024, his season was ended with that nerve damage to the back, and took a lot for him to get his confidence back. Like, well, I'll be 100% honest. He started last year shithouse. He just couldn't get over that confidence. I kept asking the question, saying, you know, what's wrong? Is he still injured? And I think it was just a mental thing coming back from a serious injury. And poor bloke, now he's got to do it again. You know, someone who's been through a lot of injuries, it's never easy to come back, and it gets harder and harder. But he's the frustrating thing of this. Obviously, it was an illegal tackle, and hip drop's obviously saying that does need to be stamped out of the game. I'll say now he's been given 4 weeks. We can confirm he's been given 4 weeks now as well for that tackle. Yeah, look, was there malice in it? Probably not, but you know, fuck, actions have consequences. If you're going to throw yourself down the ground like that and end someone's season, I feel for Jermaine so much that first game he got that sin bin. It was, in my opinion, pretty rough. Then took the 1 week suspension. So, you know, he played, obviously come back on the field in that first game, but then 9 minutes this game. And that first 9 minutes, the game he played this week, there were 2 really good carries he took, and he was ready to go. You could see how much he was in for a big year. So your thoughts on, I know you're a big Jermaine Hopgood fan being a Queenslander there, Hayden. Your thoughts on that injury?
Yeah, it's awful news. As you said, you know, coming back from the injury previously last year, his form wasn't up to scratch. There are a lot of people calling him to be, you know, dropped, but he stayed within the team and got better, changed position a bit, moving into that front row from lock and adapting well to that position. And, you know, as we saw, suspended for that game and then straight back into the side and now a bit short on the forwards. And he's become a bit of a leader forward too. Like, I think, you know, Junior Paulo being that co-captain role sometimes previously, but he's sort of gone into a bit of a leader role as well within the forwards. He's one of the older ones now, even though we've got a lot of young boys coming through. So, yeah, I'm really keen to see him in 2027. It's really unfortunate that he's going to be out for the Eels and the Maroons in 2026.
Yeah. Jack, your thoughts, mate? Who steps up now, Jack? Who steps up and takes it? We can say Tuivasa, but I say Tuivasa more of like a junior position. Obviously being that bigger, you know, that bigger body. Is it your Luca? Is it your Matt Doorey? Who steps up and does what Hopgood was doing? Jack Williams?
I think Jack Williams kicks off. He'll start in that front row with Junior. He'll get through a mountain of work. I think he's probably a bit fitter than Hopgood as well, so I think he'll get through even more work. And then I'm big on Moretti. I've always have been. I think he'll come in. He's a ball of energy. I think him and Dewey have a massive job to keep up that bench. Our bench forwards have been getting us back into games, so we can't let that drop. So I think Williams will take the majority of it, and then you'll get your Duries and your Morettis to be those energizer bunnies off the bench to kind of kick through when those middles are getting a bit tighter midway through the game.
Energizer bunnies. I love that. I love the Energizer bunny comment. I'm going to mix it up and go this one because I'm sick of talking. Obviously, all talking a fair bit here. Look, we'll touch on the Isaiah Iongi stuff quickly. Obviously, NRL did hit him with a breach notice for bringing the game into distribute or whatever they call it. It's a 1 game suspended sentence, if that makes sense to anyone. Everyone saw 1 game suspended and thought, oh, he's suspended for 1 game. No. So pretty much it's a good behaviour bond. For those with a criminal record in the comments, it's a good behaviour bond. So he's got to be pretty good. If he does fuck up in the next 12 months, he'll essentially get that 1 game added to any other suspension he does get. So be good, Isaiah. Look, load of shit. The photo was from years ago. I find it very ironic that we're playing Penrith and they decided to make a decision then when he was a Penrith player when actually the photo was taken. But, you know, that's what you come to expect with the NRL these days. A bit of a distraction when a team goes 2 from 3 after getting smashed in the first week after taking the NRL to court. But I can't say too much about that, so we won't. So don't really want to touch on that one. It's done. Whatever it is, we'll leave it. But let's obviously start getting to next week's game as well. Quickly before we move on from that, the march was obviously fantastic. Fantastic seeing Talking Parra lead that march as well. Like I said, that drum was heavy. I promise I wasn't flexing. It actually was quite heavy to carry. It killed my neck. But look, Hayden, I can see you there with your mouth wide open, looking to the heavens. And Troy's there behind you. Troy, you've got another funny photo I know that we haven't put up there. But It actually was a really good thing. Like, we tried to do this last year a few times with the Swarm from Parra Leagues, mate. The first week, it was fantastic. And after that, it kind of just went downhill. We had a couple of Thursday night games, Thursday night game against the Dolphins and stuff, and the crowd wasn't there, to be honest. And it just kind of died down, and it didn't get the publicity it probably should have. So I know Parra Leagues have obviously got a pretty big plan to keep that going this year. Next home games against the Tigers on Easter Monday, it should be pretty big then as well. So if you missed out on it, get there and do it again. We'll be there leading it again next game, and we've got some things planned for it as well. So it was great to see, great start of the day, and a great atmosphere at Combank in general. So congrats, obviously, to Hayden, Troy, everyone that was in that Swarm that got that place going, besides the fact they broke a drum and the other drum sounded like crap. So there you go. I love selfies. I took so many selfies. I took like 70 selfies, I just was going around and I had a triple chin in half of them. So I quickly learnt that you can't have a triple chin in selfies. So now everyone's got triple chin photos of Adam. Quickly touch on the tipping comp. Thanks to Time for a chat. Ogie still leads there on 20, like a Tiger. He's actually my massage guy. He's a Tigers fan. He's coming second. Short, fat, and bald. Troy, you're on 19.
I'm not bald, mate.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. So I said short, old, and balding. So that's probably me, actually. Muzzle does are on 18 and Parra all the way on 18. Tip of the week, Timo, 7 from 8. Look, let's get to this week's game now. Not much else to say. Nothing of value to add, Troy, from this week's game?
No, I don't think so. I think it was all covered pretty well, I think.
Love when I cover anything very well. Now, obviously, this week's game, Saturday at Combank Stadium. I just realised I haven't uploaded one of my graphics, but Combank Stadium, look, it's Penrith's home game. I want to start this off, Parramatta fans, by saying there's a lot of talk last year about being our paradise, them playing games at home. Yeah, the fans turned up, but the players didn't last year. We got beat by Penrith and we got beat by the Tigers we beat the Tigers in their home game, didn't we? Sorry. We got beat by Penrith twice, and we beat the Tigers in their away game. But Penrith are smug. They've got this little attitude about them at the moment. They can't fill that stadium. I think their crowds are getting 16,000 at best, 15,000. So we know there's going to be more Parramatta fans there. So make the noise, get the boys home. A win is a must this week on Saturday. So your thoughts on I'll go to the team list first. I'll get everyone's thoughts on the game and the team lists. Look, as we said, obviously some forced changes. Brian Kelly comes in the centres. The rest of the back line stays the same. The front row, the forward pack in general is how we started the game. Not how it was named, but how we started the game on Sunday with Dylan Walker obviously there as well. Talon Silva, finally, this satisfies me so much that Talon Silva is now wearing the 14. The utility hooker should wear the 14, and I love that he now is. Sam Tuivasa at 15, Matt Dory at 16, Luke comes in at 17, Charlie keeps the spot there at 18, and Joe Ash at 19. Jack DeBell on the 20th man, Team Brown 21, and Araz as the 22nd gets that little bit closer, get close to that taste of first grade football. Troy, your thoughts on the team?
Oh, well, I just can't wait for this halfback battle. Mitchell Moses up against Nathan Cleary. Obviously, Mitchell will wipe the floor with him, I reckon. His kicking game would be so much better than Nathan Cleary's. It's obvious, isn't it? I mean, we saw it last week, and we'll see it again this week.
Yeah, you've gone early on that little acting skill there because I was trying to get me out of the graphic up, but that's okay. Good to see you mention that, Troy. And look, I'll get to our bowl predictions later, but thanks to the official waging partner of the Parramatta Eels, BetFocus. If you haven't got a BetFocus account, Jez will drop the link to sign up to the Talking Parra way of the BetFocus. I've got to do this little promo for us. It's a little Talking Parra. They're going to have it on their app as well this week. So it's a little Talking Parra thing that I was talking about. So Mitch Moses to kick the first 40-20 of the match against the Panthers. So it's paying $3, which is great odds. And the reason I had this idea is we know he's going to get into that little kick up against Nathan Cleary. Like, I think Mitch kicked for 750 and Cleary kicked for 680 meters last week. So I expect Penrith to come out flying. I expect Penrith to pin us in for probably that first 10 minutes. I'll get to my bowl prediction later, but I think I've got Mitch Moses kicking a field goal inside the first 20. So it's a max bet of $50, $3, $150 profit if that gets up. I think that's pretty good. So if you haven't got a BetFocus account, Jez has got that there. I'll post it again tomorrow. Jump across, get onto BetFocus and have a crack at that one because that's a cracker, absolute cracker. Your thoughts on the team, Hayden, and the game?
Yeah, it's good to see Luca Moretti named on that bench. It'd be good to see Luca. I really have missed him like you, Jack. I'm a big fan of Luca, so look forward to hopefully seeing him out on the field. Could we see the debut of Team Brown as well? He's named in jersey 21, a bit light on the forwards. And obviously the Jack DeVellin rumour, it might not be true, as we've seen that he wasn't named. So it might not be that he wanted to be against his old club. It might just be not up to scratch right now.
Yeah, fair shout. Your thoughts, Jack?
Yeah, look, force changes. Brian Kelly scares me a little bit, not going to lie. I hope Walker doesn't start. I think he's much better as an impact player. I'd love to see him already get into the 13. I think he'll really rip and tear. But look, it is what it is. I'm pretty happy with it all. I'm feeling quietly confident that we're going to get up on Saturday.
Yeah. Us, your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the same thing he said about Dylan Walker not starting. I'd rather go with either Guri or Already and put Jack Williams at lock just to start that first, say, 15, 20 minutes, and then put on Walker and Tuivasa together and keep Jack Williams on. Like, especially with the team against Penrith, they're fucking at the start, they'll steamroll us and pin us down in their 10 and just keep grinding. I feel like we should start that first 10 minutes with 3 big boys and then inject Tuivasa and Walker, say, in the 20, 25 minutes.
You took the words out of my mouth, us. And it wasn't while you're kissing me, but you actually did take the words out of my mouth. So I want Matt Dury starting. I want Matt Dury. Matt Dury or Luca or either. I'm putting Jack Williams at lock either way. I'm starting one of them in the middle. Doesn't really matter. They're going to play as the same kind of forwards anyway. It's kind of relevant. But I like Dylan Walker off the bench, the impact he brings. If we try and play that tough 15, 20 minutes against Penrith in the first half, that's how we used to beat Penrith in 2022 till it mattered. We were the only team that could go set for set with them and belt the absolute crap out of them. Remember that game out at Penrith? We gave it to them physically till we got the breakthrough. So that's what I'd be doing, trying to go that 2020. Not really worrying too much about our attack, just belting the crap out of them, turning up defensively and kicking the corners. And then after that 15, 20 minutes, bring your Dylan Walker on and open up our attack, because that's when they're going to be there for the taking. When they roll across to those second forwards and stuff, or they keep their forwards on that little bit too long, I'd be even bringing Talon on about that 25-minute mark with Dylan Walker and playing that razzle-dazzle football that Hayden mentioned earlier, because I reckon that's how we can beat Penrith this weekend.
Dylan Walker can't really play how he plays in the first 20 minutes. Like, he can't be that link. He just got to run. Because in the first 20, you're not trying to score off the first or second play. When he comes on, bodies are tired. That's what you need from Dylan Walker. You need him to run and to play that link. But for the first 20, you need a lock that just like take those big bash hit ups and bend the line a bit.
Plus, if he starts as well, it's not as fun to say Walker's on if he starts. It's better when he's a reserve. Walker's on.
Best thing is not sitting next to you this year, Troy, so I don't have to hear that every time. Hayden, mate, how do we beat Penrith?
Just throw that ball around. You said it. You know, sometimes you take risks that don't go away, and it definitely can lead to interceptions or errors, and it can go against us. But if we throw that football around, I want to see more offloads as well. Every time you put up the stats, we see 1 or 2 in the offloads. When Parramatta were beating Penrith, we were seeing an average of 4 offloads from players. Paulo used to do it. So, yeah, I think offloads need to be a big part of Saturday's game as well.
Yeah. Jack, where's their weakness? Penrith got a weakness across the field at all?
Not a big fan of the second base play. I think if we can get those forwards early, to batter them in, if we can get those offloads, 20, 30 out, give Moses a bit of open running, give Iongi a bit of running, I think we can get them. I think that's the way to beat them. It's how we beat them back in the past. We kind of went away from it the last couple of years, and that's when we started seeing us fall away in the last 20 and lose. So that's the way.
Yeah, I agree. I said throwing the ball around. Hayden said as well. I think we only had about 5 offloads all game last week. Yeah, we played some interesting football and played some pretty fast-moving football, but the offloads just weren't there. So, like I said, stick to that thing. Just try and stick in the first 20 minutes, which is easier said than done. We need to be error-free. We made way too many errors again on the weekend. If we make the errors we made against St. George, Penrith will kill us. We'll be looking at being down by 30 again and trying to come back. So we obviously can't do that. But before we get into our bowl predictions and draw the winner of that prize and go to some questions as well, we'll obviously mention, like I said before, it is our home game, even though it's our away game. So Parramatta fans, if you are going to the game, there'll be lots of Parramatta fans throughout the ground. I loved how St. George kind of tried to take over that South GA area. Your way bay is technically bay 209. The lovely folks at the Penrith Panthers are charging $70 for a ticket in that area. you buy a South TA ticket and the bay's over, I think it's about $40 for an adult. So Phil Bay's 208 to 201. Let's try and make that the blue and gold wall, whatever you want to call it. The Swan will be there, obviously, with the drums and the flag set up nice and early. So get there, fill up that area, and let's obviously make some noise and make it feel like it is our paradise. So just on that, obviously, before the game, it is my Bucks party this weekend. So I know obviously Hayden and Troy will be there. Jack's dog Huss, mate, don't know what you're doing, but if you get into the game, I don't even know if you drink or whatever, but whatever you do, come to the game. But we'll be at the Riverside Brewing Co. I've got to share this obviously around a fair bit tomorrow. It's been out for a while, but 2:30 to 4:30, free beers, Troy limited free beers. We've got karaoke going on as well. We're going to get to that soon. A grazing board thanks to Grazing for You. Jerky thanks to Beef Jerky. There's pizzas provided. Got a merch giveaway. I'll give away some hats. I'll give away some Parramatta vouchers as well. All thanks to Riverside Brewing Co. So I'm kind of combining the two. So it's obviously my Bucks party. I'm open invite. Get there, have some free beers, have a bit of fun, do some karaoke. I love karaoke, but we're also dropping our beer. Now it's official. We can say it's official. Now Luke Stowe from Levels Network, the producer there, obviously a Parramatta fan, he come up with this name. He was the one that suggested the comments, but Riverside Brewing Co. beer is officially going to be called the Skewy Skewy Moi Moi. So can you imagine going up to Riverside Brewing Co. at the bar there? We're going to try and get it on tap at the station for a limited time as well and saying, can I have a schooner of Skewy Skewy Moi Mois? It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So excited for that one. Should be pretty cool. I've sent Phil a message seeing if we can get him to do something around that. So hopefully he does. But like I said, get out there 2:30 till 4:30. Now, Troy, you copped a lot of shit for your karaoke song last year.
Yeah, I know.
And the video went viral. It was pretty fucking average. So I'm gonna find a way to bring Jez in here as well. So Jez, you're in. You've seen that video as well. Troy, mate, what's your karaoke go-to song this year?
Oh, well, I don't know whether to do a redemption song and try it again, the same one, or mix it up and go another one, another Barnesy song maybe. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Just try to get redemption and do the same song again, or?
I reckon you give us some lines, mate. I reckon you give us some lines of Flame Trees, and we'll let you know pretty quickly if you should do it or not.
Who needs that sentimental bullshit anyway?
No one's turned their chair, guys. I think they've mostly turned their chairs back. Hayden, mate, what's your go-to karaoke song going to be? Because you got to sing a karaoke song. It's got to happen.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking the old Huey Louie, maybe Hip to Be Square, get the crowd pumping a bit.
Love it. Us, mate, I don't know if you can turn up, but what would be your go-to song if you could?
I don't know. I'm not a big karaoke guy, but I'll put a song probably like, "Oh, we're halfway there."
Yeah, Living on a Pear, Bon Jovi. Yeah, that is a great karaoke song. It's actually ranked in the top 10 karaoke songs of all time. Now, Jack, you didn't know that. Not a big karaoke guy, he says. He knew that. Jack, mate, you're going to be home in Queensland. What's your go-to karaoke song going to be? Because we're going to phone you in, and you're going to sing one.
Actually, I actually have a little two-man game. My brother and I have a karaoke song together. Billionaire by Bruno Mars. I am a Bruno in this, and then
Can you give us a line?
rapping. 10 out of 10 performance every time.
Can you give us a line of the?
I don't
Come
do
on,
shit for free. Sorry, we're too good anyway.
Yeah, I'll see it at Magic Round.
Well,
All right,
see,
Jez,
I haven't had my Skewy Moi Moi, so you know.
Yeah, you haven't. Thanks to Riverside Brewing Co. Jez, mate, what are you singing? You're obviously going to be put on the pump too.
Again, depending on how many Skewy Moi Mois I've had, it'll either be tequila. Or maybe a bit of Macklemore, Downtown.
That's fair. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to say Blink for sure, but me and Michael are apparently doing a rendition of "Miss You" by Blink-182. So that'll be my song with Michael, and obviously being the star of the show, I don't know what else I'll do. I'll take suggestions. I want to hear suggestions. What songs should I do? Like Troy, what should I sing?
Your go-to, Adam, is "Better" by the Screaming Jets. We all know this.
I haven't done that for so long. I've lost my ability to do that. I went way too classical. I can't sing rock anymore. So my actually go-to
Skewies will help.
Shannon Noel. What about me? Will probably go off. So, but we'll take it from the audience.
What about Islands in the Stream, Adam?
Yeah, that could go off as well. Actually, that could be a podcast duet. Everyone from the podcast could get up, and we could sing "Islands in the Stream." Yeah. Islands in the stream. Yeah, that could work. Anyway, let's draw this horses. People want horses. That is actually a possibility. Tomorrow, Jez, Silverchair. That could
Yeah,
actually
I'm
that's
getting around
a good
that.
one.
Yep.
yeah, that could actually happen. Hopefully all these people commenting are actually going to be
Get
there.
it turn up.
Yeah, because if they do, they can sing those songs themselves. So horses, Jack Kelly, yep, or Tomorrow by Silverchair could happen.
No, I've changed it. I'm going to lock in Freak by Silverchair.
Oh, there's a lot of good suggestions in there.
Going to bring the house down.
Sorry, mate. I'm going to name you two. I'm going to name you two songs here. Ready? All right. Can you please give us a rendition of "Follow Me" by Uncle Cracker?
Follow me, follow.
Yes,
I don't know the words. I know the tune. I don't know the words though.
Hayden, do you know it?
I'll be the one to tuck you in at night and sing it.
Follow
There you go.
me.
You know, yeah. Fuck, Troy,
Oh,
you really
we're
need.
venturing on.
Did they play that on Triple M? I don't know.
Yeah, you really need some skewy moi mois because we just dropped about 15 people then. So anyway, let's get to draw that winner. Maybe I did that as a tactical ploy so we didn't have to draw a winner. But how many people have entered? That is the question. Fuck, I also forgot we have to draw that major prize as well for the Easter one. So Jez, mate, I'm going to leave this to you. Go to the comments. I'm going to draw a number between 1 and 21. I'm going to let you find and announce and do 30 seconds while I do the other one. So 21 people share this for a $50 Bay Vista voucher. The winner is number 9.
Number 9.
Yep, I'll let you do that
Number
from the top.
Number 9.
It is Stuart Little. Stuart.
Is
You
actually
are here.
his name actually
Comments.
Stuart Little?
Nah,
No.
Stuart Wiles.
Oh, Stuart Wallace. Yep.
Yeah.
Stuart, you got 30 seconds to claim. That takes you to 54.30. So let's see how you go with that. And I'll get this wheel of names up and decide if it's going to be our Facebook or Instagram first of all. And then I'll let Jez run through the bold predictions why I do this because I have got way too much going on. So, all right. So this is
Still
for...
waiting.
Yeah, he's not here. He's got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I know Stuart quite well, actually. Stuart is here.
Hey.
He's here. He made it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I give that. I give that.
Yeah.
I give that.
We're all sorry.
Hey, by the bell.
Yeah.
That was spot on. That was spot
Yeah.
on 30 seconds. And Hayden, if your missus wanted 30 seconds, you gave her exactly 30 seconds. She'd be happy. So, all right. Let's.
Well done,
Stuart, yep. Message me,
Jesus.
mate. Stuart's a serial offender. Stuart often wins our competitions and prizes. So it's good to see someone obviously supports us so well win our prize. So, Stuart, mate, I know you'll be at the pub anyway. I'll bring you a voucher there if you're not going to be at the pub. Quite simply, don't get your fucking voucher. All right. So what we are drawing now is, Jez, you do the bold predictions while I get this ready, if that's fantastic. So
Yeah. All right. We're going to start with Jack. Jack, I'm going to need a score, a first try scorer, and your bold prediction, please.
I am going to go. Parramatta are going to win 26-16. My first try scorer is going to be Isaiah Iongi. And my bold prediction is Mitch Moses kicks a 2-point field goal from the halfway line on the siren to seal the game.
2-point field goal, halfway to seal
Didn't
game.
you say 6-16?
It'll be 24-16. He's going to kick a 2-point field goal, make it 26-16.
let's make it 10
To
points.
really seal the game.
To really
By 10
seal it.
points.
And he's going to look at Cleary and then just fucking... He won't do anything, so he can't have him suspended, but...
Didn't want a
it'd be
13
fuck
plus
you,
in there?
Nathan.
After he kicks his 40-20.
No, I got burnt by 13 plus last week, so I don't want to do it this week.
So die.
All right. Hayden, no voice. Hum it to us.
I'm going to need 6 skewy moi mois because this is the first time this year I'm doing it. I think Penrith are just too good right now. It's going to feel good when we...
Yeah. Thank you very much, Hayden.
Thanks for your thoughts.
My hands are up.
He's still talking. He hasn't even realised. That's the best thing about it. You kept talking for about 20 seconds after I moved you. That was the funniest thing about that.
I was just using some swear words that can't be used on here, but that's all good. Just some words to describe you, mate. No, I'll go. Yeah, look, I think it's going to be pretty ugly. I hope I'm wrong. I'll go 30-12 Penrith. I'll go 30-12 Penrith. First try scorer will be former Eel, Isaiah Papali'i. And a bold prediction, I'll go with the Eels here. I'll go with Matt Dury to get himself a try between the 45th and 60th minute. So there's a 15-minute period there where Matt Dury crosses, and Matt Dury fan goes, Matt Dury.
Who's that? Who's going to score that try, Hayden?
Matt Dury.
Oh, did you get that, Jez?
I got it. Matt Dury?
Before we get on to the next one, I'm going to start drawing this because it's going to take me a little bit. So
Thank you, Hayden.
This. It says spin the wheel between Facebook and Instagram. Oh, yes, it's leaning on Instagram. So I'll go across Instagram now. Keep going, Jez.
Thank you, Adam. All right, Huss, hit us with score, first try scorer, and bold prediction.
All right, I'm going for dogfight 14-12 Parra's way. First try scorer will go Pezzett, and bold prediction will win by a penalty goal to win 14-12.
I like it.
Yep.
Old school dogfight.
Pen goal to win.
Just FYI, there was 106 comments on Instagram. So I'm going to now do a random number between 1 and 106. I'm going to go through and find that. So, oh, fuck. 19.
19.
Yeah. I love a low number. So I'm going to go through and find that comment. Number 19. Okay, keep going.
All right, Troy, hit me.
Okay, I am going to go 18-10 on my first try scorer. I will say Josh Adokar to be safe, and my bold prediction will be that Nathan Cleary won't play the second half after being belted by Kelma Tuolangi legally.
Cleary no-show second half.
Yeah.
I like that.
We saw that a couple of years ago. I think it was 2022. Cleary was off the field.
Oh,
Yeah, ear tackle, I think, on Dylan Brown.
All right, Adam, can you multitask? Can you, before you do the person you found, give me your score, first try score, a bold prediction?
One person has gone through and commented about fucking 60 times, which is actually quite fucking annoying. And it's also a Tigers fan, so he can eat a dick as far as I can tell, because that is just not on. It's not in the spirit of the game. So yeah, I'm going to have to.
Is that your bold prediction?
Yeah, not in the spirit of the game.
That's bringing the competition into disrepute, isn't it?
Oh, mate, that's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I'll go through and work it out. But my bold prediction is Parramatta to win 17-16. Mitchell Moses field goal after his third 40-20 of the match is the prediction. And my first try scorer is I'm going to go Bailey Simonson. I think Bailey deserves it after last week and the game he played. So, yep. I'm going to go through and count the 18th person that isn't the same person commenting 65 fucking times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm not even joking. This is actually ridiculous.
Biker Boys GSXR, which sounds like a Luke Webb burner account, are asking, why aren't you including YouTube viewers?
On what? The competition?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't enter on YouTube competition. This was from the one that we did the other week. It was only on Facebook and Instagram.
There you go. There's your answer.
Yep. The winner of this is on Instagram, username Lockie_C2573. That took a lot of effort to get to.
He's a good boy, that one.
Yeah, good boy. He was the 19th there after I excluded old mate 65 comments of the tagging the same person over and over again. So, Lockie, message the page, mate. You've won that competition, and we'll sort something out there for you for that prize. So there he is. He's here. I love when our actual loyal listeners win and not some Tigers fan trying to enter 65 times. So, Lockie, message the page, message me, and I'll sort that out for you and get that done. So, any questions, guys? Anyone want to ask any questions? Sorry, it's taken a while to get through that. That was a long 20 minutes of my life. I wish I never had Jess's quickly unstarring stuff. So, fire away. Ask us the questions. This week will come crashing back to earth. We don't need your negative comment, Michael. You can't join the podcast and you just want to comment. I don't you put up because I'm trying to hide it. Do you think Jack JDB will find a spot again? I guess I'm just going to add you back on this one. It's wigging me out a little bit. No, I don't know. Unless we get injuries, I can't see it. I think we've got some young forwards coming through. I think the game's got too fast for him. I wasn't for the signing when it happened. I didn't love it, and just can't see it working out. So, we'll go there. Hayden, you can answer this one. How's Team come? Is he ready? Is he time? How's his defense? What's his form like? Well, based on what you saw,
we saw that glimpse in the trials there. I mean, now that we've lost Jermaine Hopgood, he's got a chance there. I mean, Luca's coming back, which is a big inclusion and probably deserves that first shot. But is he ready? Well, yeah, we've seen it, and we've seen players come and not only debut and get a spot within the team. So I'd say yes, but I don't think it'll be this week.
Yeah. Any other questions? Jack's gone as well. Everyone's dropping out like there's no tomorrow. What's going on with this podcast? This podcast has gone to shit. Honestly, it's almost back to the original crew. Just me, Hayden, and Troy. We just need Matt, and we're good. Anyway, any more questions? I need some beef jerky. Yeah, it's pretty good.
There was one around Origin. I like an early Origin question.
Ooh, okay.
Any Origin bolters from the Eels, lads?
Hayden, Queensland or New South Wales? Anyone you got?
I can't particularly think of anyone off the top of my head. I mean, you'd obviously put Mitchell Moses potentially in that Blues side.
Yeah, he's a bolter.
But as a Queenslander, if I was picking, I like Iongi a lot. I think his game's developing, but I'd probably have someone like Jai Gray as a bolter over Iongi right now. So
it says any Eels bolters for Origin. Eels.
Yeah. Well, the Eels players, you mean?
Yeah, so Jai Gray doesn't play for the Eels.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Iongi would be that bolter, but you wouldn't, in my opinion, you wouldn't pick him. I would, as a Queenslander, I would have Jai Gray ahead of him. And then for New South Wales, I mean, I'd probably pick Mitchell Moses, but who knows?
He's a real bolter.
And I don't care either.
I'm going to pick Josh Adokar and Jack Williams as well. I think
Jack Williams.
There'll be a chance to get in there if he keeps up that form, as is shown in the last couple of weeks. So, any more questions to get to? There is some more.
I like this one because the game is getting incredibly quick. So do we think older boys are getting gassed too early? The young'uns are honestly outshining them.
Yeah, it's the game. The game's changed so much. We saw it against Melbourne. When we situation, and I copped a pizzling for it, but when we had Jack DeBell and Junior Paulo and Dylan Walker on the field at the same time, we got absolutely carved up. So until the game slows down, which will happen because they'll stop, this crackdown on six agains, especially the more injuries we get. There's so many injuries in the game. It's not just our team. And the coaches are starting to come out and say there's too many injuries because of how fast the game is. The more that gets drawn upon, the more players we lose, the more salary cap sitting on the sideline, the more clubs are going to ask questions. So at the moment, yes. But do I think they still have a role? Yes. So we just need to find that balance. And that balance, quite simply, someone like Jack Williams starting with Junior Paulo, and having a Matt Dory or a Luke Moretti on the 13, just not having them all on the field at the same time is a perfect way to deal with it. But like I said, it's all down to the game as well. So,
and for us turning 35 this year, that hurts here.
Yeah.
35, is that it?
Yeah. I feel old. I feel very old. Now, will there be a live stream of Troy singing? We'll get some videos up. We'll get everyone recorded. We'll do the voice edition or something of all the podcasts, and you can vote a winner. I don't know. We'll find a way to do something. I'll exclude myself. Well, I'm going to have one beer. I'm going to have one beer.
What?
I'm going to have another beer.
What?
3 beers.
What?
4 beers.
What?
5 beers.
What?
6 beers.
What?
7 beers.
What?
8 beers.
What?
9 beers.
Oh, what?
10 beers.
What?
And a Bloody Mary too. Yes. So, I don't think I'll have that many beers, no. I mean, obviously grateful for Riverside Brewing Co. coming on board as our beer sponsor, but I'll probably stop at two or 3 beers and have a couple of vodka lime and sodas and then go from there. So I have drink more than 5 beers in one session. I just don't drink with you because you're shit company. Honestly, you get all D&M and want to D&M with me, and it's just I don't want to D&M with you, and I had 5 or 6 beers. He's very lovely.
For context, that's his brother, people. That's his brother he's talking about.
Yeah,
is that what Troy. Mick is going to have 5 or 6 beers? That's it.
And then some.
Yeah, and then some.
I've seen his videos on Instagram. On his tours.
So, yeah, Stone Cold Revenge. Yeah, I'm not becoming Troy. Troy's going to do a little bit of a running thing on the weekend. We're going to record him. So, see how many beers he has.
Really? Really?
Yeah. And Hayden's actually getting on the bus an hour after everyone else. So, if Hayden doesn't think he's doing catch-ups as soon as he gets on that bus, then he's in for a rude
I think
surprise.
Hayden might actually outdo me, I reckon.
Hayden was pissed in Melbourne and Brisbane. Absolutely pissed. It was pretty funny.
Melbourne wasn't that bad. Brisbane.
Fuck off. You weren't next to you. You were in you. And I'm telling you now, you're more of a pest than Troy when you're drunk. Troy's annoying, but you were like, yeah, you were something else. So anyway, look, that's all we've got time for tonight. Obviously, like I said, we end up with 4 of us. So I don't know what's going on. We might be advertising for podcast stuff soon. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, first of all, I'll give this another little bit of plug as well for BetFocus. So if you haven't got a BetFocus account, Jazz, I don't know if you can drop that comment there. I'll post it tomorrow anyway. But Mitch Moses to kick the first 40-20 of the match versus Panthers, $3, max bet $50. Jump on that. I reckon it's a very good chance of happening. That's why I'm going with it. Also, I forgot to mention this. Obviously, our racehorse, hopefully the racehorse, there's a real Phooey theme. And Phooey Nay Nay will hopefully be the name of the horse of Racing New South Wales approve it. We're actually doing 1% shares now. We sold out of 2.5% shares. I want to give everyone a chance to get involved. So we're doing 1% shares, $1,200 up front, $40 to $80 a month. Really good opportunity to be involved in that singing and just have a bit of fun. So check that out. I'll be posting that next couple of days. We've already got about 10 people in for that 1%. So good
Who's
stuff.
the jockey there?
That's an AI version of Fui Fui Moi Moi.
Okay.
It's the best I could come up with. Just pretty much that was it. So look, thanks for joining us once again. Like I said, if you're coming out to the game on Saturday, get to the brewery before and see you next Tuesday or Saturday.
Go Parra.